Hey everyone, this is Dr. Greg Rose. I'm here with Dr. Sean Drake. We're talking about our new RacquetFit tennis certification seminars for health, fitness, and tennis coaches. And a lot of people are asking us to highlight some of the screens we might see and how it's different than some of the other sports that they've worked on. Well, I'd like to talk about, Sean, if we can, let's talk about lateral flexion. You know, in not every sport do you need a lot of excessive lateral flexion, but in tennis, especially in the serving motion, you need to see a lot of side bend that helps them get into a perfect position to attack the tennis ball. So basically, how do we measure this lateral flexion? We do a two-part little test. We call this the leg slide with arm raise. And let me walk you through it. So literally what we do is we take our player, we put them against the wall, heels against the wall, keep their lower body, their butt stays against the wall. And now what I'll do is I will mark the lowest part of their hand where it is on their leg. Now from here, I'm gonna have him go ahead and laterally flex. He's gonna slide down, and I'm comparing where his wrist line is to that original line. You're either gonna be below, the wrist line is gonna be below the original line, less than the original line, or equal original line. The best players in the world have a lot of spine lateral flexion. That looks a little tight on you, right? A little short. A lot of them have a lot of spine flexion. Now, watch, come back up for me. Let me just do that again. Go ahead and go down for me. So I would say on your Sean's, you're about equal to your wrist line, right? So that's checking just spine lateral flexion. Now, in tennis, your hips aren't locked, right? You can actually use your lower body as well. So we take that test and we say, okay, let's go now to shoulder width apart, and let's let them use the lower body to see if the hip lateral flexion, what that does. So I'm gonna mark this first, and now this time he's gonna go ahead and slide his lower body along the wall, and you can see what a dramatic difference. So you can see he gets his wrist line well below his really starting line. So on Dr. Drake, what you're gonna see here is, if he's gonna go into a side bending position, he's probably not going to do excessive from the spine because that's a little restricted. He'll probably do, if anything, it'll be excessive hip slide out this way towards the court. And that kind of gives us an idea of where he's going to use the lower body, where he's going to use the spine, and give us an idea to maybe predict some of those motions. One other little last piece of this little test that we like to do is to go back to feet together. We go ahead and slide down. From here, we also like to see what the non-racket hand is doing. So we make a thumb, and you might have seen this in some of our TPI golf seminars. It's like a lat test. He's gonna go straight up to the wall. We're gonna see, does he have the flexibility to get the arm up in the air, maintaining that lateral side trophy position, and then we'll even see how far he can slide this over. Just looking at that arm allows us to get an idea of what happens with his spinal mechanics posture, with the arm up in the air, no discomfort or pain there, right? And come back down. That's our leg slide with arm raise test. Good way to differentiate on hip lateral or adduction motion, spine lateral flexion, and we'll even add in that shoulder flexion. Three pretty critical key points that are needed for any tennis player if you want to take your game to the next level. Hope to see you at one of our RacquetFit seminars.